And here we go. Welcome to Debate Crypto. Miguel, did you bring the firewood? Because we about to bring the heat.
Nice one, dude.
I'm Crypto Keeper. And then obviously this is Blockchain Crusader. Miguel, we are about to get it on. Welcome to Debate Crypto. How is everybody?
How's it going?
Everybody's
How's it going?
doing well. Yeah. What we got on the menu for tonight, Miguel?
NFTs, man. NFTs is where it's at right
NFTs. What
now.
is an NFT, Miguel?
So non-fungible token, right? It's a certificate of ownership, and that's the most important thing. Is that when people talk about selling and buying NFTs, you're not actually buying and selling the NFT. The NFT is not the asset, not the picture or whatever it is. The NFT is a certificate that gets attached to that asset that says you have ownership over that. And that's like it was actually being sold back and forth is the ownership, but not the actual asset.
So the NFT itself can be a picture of a freaking bouncy ball. It doesn't matter what it is. It's the basically code behind it that says I own said
Yes.
bouncy ball that lights up. Yeah.
Yeah, because people say, "Oh, I'm minting NFTs," and they think minting NFTs means that they're actually creating like that the asset they've created, the art or whatever it is the actual NFT. And it's like, no, you're actually what you're minting is the certificate of ownership attached to that asset that can be transferable between people.
Yeah. So and the thing is, like, a lot of people, I saw somebody just in the other chat, just because I noticed it, I'm going to mention it real quick, although we're just going to be answering questions in here. Somebody just said, like, NFTs are basically a waste of money. And here's the deal. I think a lot of people don't truly understand that there is a massive use case for NFTs. So when NFTs started, and if you ask the quote layperson what an NFT is and what you could expect from it, they are going to give you the response, well, I mean, it's if they know anything, they're going to tell you that it's digital art, okay,
Yes,
which is a form of an
an NFT.
NFT, right?
Mhm.
But it goes so much far. It goes so much farther than that. So it starts with, okay, digital art, great. That's an introduction to what an NFT is, and then it moves on to, wait a minute, we could make it a concert ticket. And inside of that, embedded into that concert ticket as part of the NFT is backstage passes. And when I walk up to the gate and I scan my phone, it says, oh, okay, welcome there, Crypto Keeper. Yeah, you've got backstage passes. And all I've shown them is an NFT that just has code embedded in it that says I have not only the ticket to the concert, but I have backstage passes. Let's take it one step further. What happens, and I think that this will be the case before too terribly long, what happens when our driver's licenses become NFTs? The ultimate use case, as Miguel was saying, is that it shows digital ownership of something, right? And it can be ownership of something actually physical. And so that's where I think that's where the confusion can be sometimes, that people think, oh, it's only this digital piece of art that I might be able to project onto my wall at my house. What good is that? Why am I going to spend, tons of money on that? Well, the reality is it's digital ownership. It is ownership of not just things digitally, but also has use case in the real world. So I think it's going to be super freaking important, and it's just going to continue to get bigger and bigger and more mainstream. I think they're going to have to change the name, though. Maybe not change the name. I think they're going to have to come with a better way of telling. I think, man, you start telling somebody, hey, do you know what a non-fungible token is? And they look
So
at you like you have freaking horns growing out of your forehead.
So you don't have to go into the abbreviation, right? But just the same thing about Bitcoin, right? The same thing we said. First of all, it's not real; it's fake. Why would I use fake money when there's real money, right? People get adjusted to the new concept, right? So NFT, the word itself, sounds funny right now, sounds weird, but people will adjust, right? How has language changed throughout time, right? When I was a kid, the word cool was cool, right? Now we have dope, we have buzzing, right? We have all these other words that mean the same thing, right? And you're like, wait, that sounds weird. Why would somebody say that and have to explain it to them? This is what that means, right? NFTs will have the same translation into language. It would just become a natural part, and people are going to stop questioning what is an NFT or get turned off by that word.
How long do you think it's going to be before everyone understands, whether they know that it's a non-fungible token or not? How long do you think before on a daily basis people are using NFTs and it's just part of our society?
I would probably say, uh, you know, probably like about 5 to 10 years at most, as far as it's
Okay.
going to take, somewhere around the same part where the whole metaverse starts coming in and starts becoming a legit, problem, or not problem, but a legit situation in our real world. That's when the NFT thing will really take off and just be in normal language, right? Cryptocurrencies are being talked about on mainstream media almost every single day now when it comes to financial channels. Um, NFTs are translating into that, right? Visa made a big purchase with that CryptoPunk, and that is a huge marketing tactic, right? More than anything, it's not because they're buying it because they believe in CryptoPunk, but they're buying the CryptoPunk to say, "Hey, I'm part of the club. I'm a cool kid. I got one of these NFTs that are worth tons of money, right?" And it cost them 150 or 160,000, and it caused them to go viral over multiple social medias, right? What versus a Super Bowl ad costs millions of dollars, and they might not even get the reaction that they're actually hoping for out of that. And this one NFT purchase has blown them up, and everybody's talking about it now.
Yeah, I actually I heard that comparison. I don't know if it was yesterday or today. And Jacob in the chat said Budweiser, my king. Which, by the way, that's just kind of funny. You said Budweiser is your king, but just got on board with NFTs. Here's the deal, Jacob. Budweiser, let's be fair, was using it for exactly what Miguel just said. Budweiser said, "Hey, here's an opportunity for Budweiser to be all over the news for a relatively inexpensive, a relatively small amount of money." And when we're talking big business like that, the ad revenue, the ad money that is spent is freaking insane. And so, yeah, I mean, think about it. You're exactly right, Miguel. They spend 150K. They spend millions of dollars on getting the same amount of publicity from, let's say, the Super Bowl. Every single person that sees that, I mean, it's on every single news media channel. So, guys, TikTok, come over to the YouTube channel. Yes, we are on YouTube at Debate Crypto. You will see us live on there. We need you to come over, subscribe, shoot us some likes, get into the live chat. We've only got a couple people in here on the live chat. And Zappy says TikTok is weak sauce, guys. So he needs you to come over here and let him know that YouTube is. I mean, he's calling you out. So I just want y'all to know that you are being called out over here in YouTube. So yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, when it comes to the NFT space, right? Art, all this stuff. What is one thing that, since you're not in the NFT space yet, what is one thing that you will be looking for? What is one thing that would try to, maybe catch your eye to push you into the NFT world?
So I think there's some really cool, for what people know it is now, art, right? I think there's some really cool art. But just like with art that's not digital, it's all very speculative, okay? And so I think if I'm going to spend money on an NFT that's art, it's going to be something that I just love, that I want to be able to post on my picture frame TV or whatever. Just something that I can say, okay, cool, that's what it is. I like it. I'm buying it for me. The speculative flip of just an NFT of an artistic piece like that, it is exactly that. It's speculative. Miguel, I'll tell you what I think though. I think that what you got into, the monkey, where it's like a mystery box, right? First of all, that adds a layer. So there's so many layers to these NFTs. You have the basic art, which is what I was just talking about, really speculative. Maybe it's like the Crypto Punks was like the first NFTs, and it's like the cool thing. I mean, literally, you're spending millions of dollars on a JPEG or hundreds of thousands of dollars on literally a grainy JPEG, right? So that's a hey, I'm part of the club, like you were saying earlier, right? That's that. The next layer, the apes that you bought, it has a layer of mystery to it. You know, when you buy that, you don't, or when you buy that, you don't know, right? What is this monkey going to look like? What's he going to
Exactly.
wear? What kind of things is he going to be able to do? And so when we moved into Decentraland and we started running around the metaverse, and I saw people running around randomly, not very many, albeit not many, with a book bag on that had one of those monkeys. And I asked you what it was. You said, bro, part of buying that NFT gives you in the metaverse the ability to wear this book bag, and people see it and say, oh, he's got one of the, what are they called, Miguel? The what?
They're called Apes 3D.
Apes 3D. So, oh, he's got one of the Apes 3D, and it's almost like just like
I'm gonna show my. I'm gonna share my screen real quick.
yeah. It's like one of the cool things to have, and it basically just says, "Hey, here I am." It is a little bit of a flex, and yeah, I just thought that was cool. Where I think ultimately we're headed more than just the real world use case is gaming. Yeah, so there they are. You said they're called Crazy Apes.
Uh, Apes 3D. See,
Apes
Apes
3D. I was
3D.
way off on that. Just like the name earlier that I was
Yeah.
butchering. Um,
Apes 3D right here. And then this is the shirt that you get, right? This is a Decentraland wearable that you get for your avatar. I've got two since I bought two apes, and then these are other NFTs, but these are the apes, right? This is one ape right here, and then the other one is. Let me move the screen around. In a second here. Boom. Here's the other ape. So I got this one right here. Call
yeah,
him Killer Bee, right? Because he looks like a bumblebee. He's just like a
yeah.
bumblebee. And then we got this one over here, which is like a COVID doctor or something going
No,
on.
dude. I'm telling you, that is freaking Mario. Listen, hey, hit us up in the
Mario taking
chat
his
if you
precautions.
think that this isn't Mario with a freaking COVID mask on. That's gotta be. It's a Mario. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it's Mario. So yeah, but then Miguel, look, you've got the car right there, right? That
Yes.
car is for a game, and which is where I was headed next. I think that when I play Call of Duty and I have a new skin, right? And I'm like, oh, check out this character, check out this weapon, check out what I can do with this. What's the game that a lot of the kids like to play? That's
Fortnite.
Fortnite. Yeah, I think that ultimately that's where a lot of things are headed in regards to the entertainment side of things, where people are going to be able to just utilize these NFTs that they're buying, and I think ultimately it is a flex. It's like, hey, look what I have. You don't have this. I do have this, and I could show it to you via wearing it in the metaverse, or wearing it and using it, or utilizing some sort of a sword in an Assassin's Creed game, or whatever the case may be. And I think that's going to
Exactly.
be a big part of
Right.
what the use
Like
is.
we were just talking the other day, right, about that game Ember Sword, which is like
Yeah.
a RPG game, right? They're selling plots of land, so you can run businesses on your plots of land, having buildings, cities, towns, all this kind of stuff. So all has utility behind it, which is going to fuel gaming to a whole new level, right? Adults will be more interested, right? Even teenagers. Can you imagine being a teenager, 16, 17 years old, playing a game and making money off that game you're playing? If you're spending, uh, 15, 10 hours a day playing that game, and your parents are like, "Oh, get off! You got to go do something with your life." It's like, "Hey, mom, I'm working right now. I'm working. I'm making cash. I just made $1,500 last month, playing this game, right? And that's not on top of you streaming yourself playing, which can be another passive stream of income. As you're streaming and you become bigger in the NFT, streaming game scenario, you're also playing games that could pay you out money.
Well, let me ask you this, Miguel, because I honestly don't know the answer to this. The play to earn games, right?
Yes.
Why are they paying you to play their game? Because is it some weird backwards advert? Is it an advertisement somehow? Are there ads attached? Like, what is it, dude?
No. So it's not about ads being attached to the game. It's about the fact that games have always had the opportunity to give back to the community, but they never have. Right? They've consumed all the earnings and never given back anything.
Okay.
Right. games cost $60 to play.
Yep.
Some of them come out as alpha or betas at 40, $50 on stream, right? And then you have to keep playing while they finally develop the game. They create DLC for the game. You got to pay for that as well. Right?
Mhm.
You're just playing endless hours of your life, right? People have put hundreds of hours into these games, and what do you get out of it? Nothing. You get entertainment, right? As people get older, some people are like, hey, I just can't invest this amount of time of my life into these games anymore because there's no return for me besides the entertainment, right? You have other responsibilities, other things. Now with play to earn, you have an incentive. Like, hey, I'm gonna play this game and I can make $50, $100, $1,000. It all depends on your skill level and how profitable the game is long term, right? When they balance out certain things. But if you can be making money to play a game, why wouldn't you do that, right? Why wouldn't you invest those hours to make that money? It's a passive income. Everything about the economy now is like the gig economy, having side hustles, right? That's an extra side hustle, playing a game that you can make money from, streaming at the same time, and building an audience. You're making multiple income streams right there.
So it's all about pushing people to that game because at the end of the day, if I'm watching you stream this and you're telling me, you're like when we talked about crypto blades for a minute,
Yes.
the first thing I thought when you told me you were making money playing a game, the first thing I thought was, well, I wonder how much money he's making playing this game. Then my second question, just because I'm a freaking video game snob, was, is it stupid turn based? Like I just wanted to know that I was actually
Yeah.
going to enjoy it, right? And
Yeah.
I think they're coming out with games like that are going to be actually like, so let's use Assassin's Creed for an example, right? A game like that where it is truly open world and you are able to be actively playing with said character, and they're going to turn that some type of way into play to earn, are they not?
Yes, yes. I showed you Ember Sword, right? We mentioned that game.
Mm-hmm.
We also there's another one called Myst, another very big RPG style game that's open world, right? You can be a warrior, you can be a magician, you can be whatever, right? Play to earn. How do you play to earn? It's because the game that you're playing, the things you're getting, whether it's a sword, an outfit, a skill, some type of potion, something, everything is an NFT, which you can then grab, put it on the market, and resell it for money, right? And that's how you're playing to earn. You're not just the game's not just generating you money, just giving it to you. It could be multiple ways, right? Crypto Blades paid you for playing. These other games are saying, hey, the assets that you're grabbing in this game can actually be sold and you can make money off those sales, right? And they're going to make money too. I'm sure they're going to take some type of small cut, right? Some type of royalties, like 1% maybe, 2% off the sale. So they're going to be making tons of money in the long term while giving back to the community and fueling that fire.
Yeah, and then also we hadn't talked about this yet, but there's royalties embedded into a lot of these NFTs. I don't know that they're in all of them, but they're in a lot of them. And so, yeah, I guess if the game is paying you to play, but they're also selling you NFTs that are able to be resold. And within that, which can be resold, they have a royalty. And that overcomes the amount of money that they're paying out. It is a freaking win. Smash the likes, guys. We super appreciate it. If you're over on TikTok, come over to YouTube. We're answering questions on YouTube. I'm about to touch on a couple of them right now.
Yeah, let's cover
We
some
are
games.
live on YouTube and or Twitch. It is at Debate Crypto. Make sure you subscribe to us. Shoot us a follow over there. We super appreciate it. So, couple things I want to hit on real quick. So Minecraft has servers where Jason Scobie says Minecraft have servers where they have an economy where people could mine resources and in return sell you resources to someone else for in-game currency. If that could actually be legit funds crypto. So yeah, that's a
Yes.
freaking great idea. And I think that it is what it's evolving to. And it's kind of like when Miguel and I first started chatting on TikTok, right? It was okay, like cool. We're interacting and we're getting along and cool. And then next thing I know, Miguel's asking me out on a date, right? And I'm like, whoa, bro, I'm married, right? It started to turn into something else, and I was like, I'm not so sure no, but seriously, the literally like it's evolving, and so we're trying to figure out where does this end, or maybe not even where does it end, but where's it going?
So what?
Hit on that
Check this.
Axie Infinity thing in a minute
Yeah,
after
yeah. Check
clicking
this
this
comment
episode.
out. This is crazy. I'm actually gonna show it on screen
Yeah.
right here. Boom. So Zappy is saying he played Axie Infinity. He's invested $1,000 about 2 to 3 months ago, and he is making somewhere between $700 to $1,000 profit every 2 weeks. So at the end of the month, that's between 1,500 to $2,000 a month, right? Half of a hourly a full time salary, you know, for playing a game.
Zappy, how long are you drop it in the chat? How long are you actually playing? I guess is my question. Are you dropping in like absolute insane hours into this game, or are you saying, "Hey, I'm jumping on and I'm just playing a little bit here and there," or are you dropping a lot of time as if this were a job? Because that's one of my questions with the play to earn. Does it actually become like, "Hey, this is
We
this is
also
another,"
got
you know?
we also got George over here saying, so what's the value in the JPEGs, right? The JPEGs, right? Even though it's just art, right? You go to a museum and you look at art, you're like, okay, that looks cool, right? There's literally paintings that are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions of dollars. It's all one color, right? It's all one big color with a line down the middle and down the side. I saw a painting back when I was in high school. It was all red with a little golden thread line all the way down through its side, all the way in the corner somewhere in the side. That painting is a world famous painting and it's worth tons of money. I was
Right.
like, I could do that. What artistic skill does it take to do
Yeah.
something like that, right? Jackson Pollock with the drip painting, absolutely no skill to just drip paint everywhere. Tons of people do it now. Yet it doesn't have value when all these people do it, but it has value when he did it because he was the founder, right? Same
Mhm.
thing with these JPEGs. It's about kind of like beauty's in the eye of the beholder. People give it value whenever they feel like that is valuable to them, right? One of the apes from Apes 3D, one of the first ones to sell for real money, sold for 10 ETH. 10 ETH, right? And that was just short time ago. That was like 3 weeks ago. It was still around that $3,000 price point. So it wasn't like ETH was worth $500 or something. So they sold it for 10 ETH. It was all over the place. No other ape has sold for a price as high as that again. But somebody decided that that monkey was worth 10 ETH, and they paid him because they had a crown on his head.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, yeah, does it feel like a JPEG should have this crazy amount of value? Well, maybe not. But then my question then becomes, if we're going to be thinking like that, why does a Honus Wagner baseball card, which was one of the first tobacco baseball cards ever, why is it worth millions of dollars? Well, let me tell you why it's worth millions of dollars. It's the only one that is in such a condition of that card, and people see that and say, hey, this has rarity, this has value. And because just like with money, people agree that this has value, and everything is worth what someone is willing to pay for it. I guarantee you I have things in my house right now that, to me, I feel like I could walk in my house tomorrow and them not be there and be like, whatever. And somebody else could walk in and say, I will pay you like good money for that. That for me is something that I want. And so the JPEGs, same type of idea. That's something that someone wants. It has rarity, and that's definitely exactly what it is for
So we
sure.
got Holy Crypto Batman over here saying Mason was just offered 18,000 for his Pudgy Penguin.
Holy Crypto Batman, that, my friend, is Angela. There we go. That's Angela, not James from earlier. This is Angela. This is where I screwed that up.
So 18,000 for a penguin, right? Tons of people have penguins. There's 10,000 of them, I believe, or something like that. It's just different variations of the penguin.
Can we be
Meaning
honest? Can we
they're
be
rare.
honest? Can we be honest? We got to be honest here, Miguel. Some of this is freaking stupid. It is stupid
But
because
is it?
because right. Listen, same thing with the freaking Vincent van Gogh painting, right? There might be a lot of talent involved in what he did, but somebody's spending what's ultimately multiple people's more money than they'll ever earn in their life so they can hang something on their wall is a pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? It is a pretty,
Waste of time.
it's not that it's a waste of time. It's just like, man, couldn't that money be used so much better elsewhere? And I get it.
Oh, of
I've
course,
got
of
things in my
course.
life. I get it. I know where this could head. People are gonna say, well, wait a minute. I mean, do you really need, and then start rattling off things, or the type of car that you drive, or all of these different things. No, I get that. But at some point, a freaking little cartoon penguin for 18K because the right person just happens to own it. I don't know. I mean, yeah, whatever. I'm excited for the real world use case of NFTs. And for me, art is fantastic. I have a painting on my wall of Tupac and Biggie that people always comment on. And I paid a decent little bit of money for not the print, right? To actually have it. So I guess as I start to process it, I don't know. I can get on board somewhat, but I have a really hard time with just paying for
It's
something
part.
just to say you have it and
It's
you.
part. It's being part of the club, right? You gotta pay your VIP membership, and that's what it
Yeah.
is, right? There's a limited amount, right? And what's the big difference between pudgy penguins and party penguins, right? There's a whole nother project called Party Penguins, the uglier format of the penguin, but it's penguins nonetheless in different stuff. It's just about the correct amount of marketing, and that's what it is, right? It's marketing tactics, getting the right people, the right influential people to jump on the project, right? We saw some CEOs of some big companies put pudgy penguins as their avatars on
Yeah, Mark
Twitter.
Cuban.
Yeah, Mark Cuban. There's been a few others. There's been a few other CEOs, right? And what does that mean? Price goes up, right? Now you're part of the club where a CEO is in the same project that you are in, right? You're part of the cool kids, right? Just like the crypto punks. Only VIP people can afford or even be in that status, right? The status symbol to be part of that club. So they're being used that way. It's marketing tactics, right? Same thing
So
with the diamonds back in the day.
so then my question becomes, I feel that in the crypto space, the the NFT craze is going to end up similar to the meme coin craze, and a lot of people are going to get caught holding the bag. And I think that's just a fact.
Yes,
It has to
yes,
happen at some point. Somebody's going to say, nah, I'm not interested in buying that. And if you think for 1 second you spent 18K on it and you think I'm going to pay you more than $18,000 for it, you are absolutely high.
yes,
It is not
yes.
happening.
That could definitely happen, right? That's definitely a possibility. That's the risk that is being taken with the NFT projects. But look what happened with Bitcoin. Bitcoin went to 20,000, dropped to three. What did people say? I'm not buying that thing. $3,000. That has lost so much of its value. I'm not gonna be. So that's gonna go down to zero, right? But then it came back. We've seen NFTs go down and they've come back, right? It's just a cycle thing. So yeah, would you get stuck holding the bag for some period of time? Maybe. Would you maybe never sell it? Also a possibility. It makes it a lot more difficult to get rid of some of an NFT than it is to sell your crypto for a loss, right? Um,
You want to
but it's
know
like
why
real
NFTs are
estate.
hard for me? NFTs are hard for me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no problem.
NFTs are hard for me because I got to spend my girlfriend on them. I got to spend, for those of you that are new, Ethereum is my girlfriend, right? I always talk about ETH as being my favorite asset, right? And so
Yep.
in my mind, though I could figure out getting through this, but in my mind, I am taking the asset that I believe the most in appreciating and saying, "Hey, I'm going to go spend this right now." And I think that for me is where I get stuck even if I was going to spend it. So I don't know. I have a hard time with that one.
I agree. It's all about what you value, right? Like I value crypto more than real estate. So therefore, I don't sell my crypto to buy real estate. And I feel like NFTs are kind of the same thing, right? You're selling your crypto to buy a other property asset that becomes more illiquid than the crypto itself, right?
Yeah.
And that's the conversation I had with my parents. They were trying to buy land about 6 7 months ago, and to try to sell it when they get older for retirement and make some money. I was like, look, guys, just buy some crypto, hold it for that same period of time. It's more likely it's gonna 7 or 8x between now and that period of time coming in the future, and it's on your phone. You just tap a few buttons, boom, it's sold, it's gone. You don't gotta go through paperwork. You don't gotta come check out the land, see if somebody's squatting on your land or doing something that's not supposed to be happening there, right? You got nothing to worry about. You can be anywhere in the world, just boop, boop, boom, boom, sold. Yeah, there's my $200,000. I'm retired.
Well, Rob said, I would say what Nick says: only spend what you're okay losing. And I will echo that. I'm
Yes,
totally with it. If I'm gonna buy, and that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. If I'm gonna buy an NFT that I like and that I'm like, hey, this is freaking cool, I'm buying it. I'm buying it with the understanding for me that uh, I'm okay not reselling this. So for
yes,
me, with where the NFT market is right now, I'm not trying to resell anything. Now, I will say this. I am currently, putting together an NFT project myself that I think is super freaking cool. And I'd like to see where it goes. And ultimately, I'm going to present it, out for a lot of the subscribers and followers to check out. And if you guys think that it has value to you, cool. I think you guys will really like the idea, like the project. I'll put out and show you guys the first couple of them, and I think it's actually a really cool idea as it relates to crypto, and I think you guys will have fun with them. But I will let you know when those come out.
so I want to say something about this, right? Only spend what you're willing to lose. I personally, this is not financial advice. This is probably the worst thing you could do. But my mentality is, I am willing to lose every dime I have to get rich, and that's how I see crypto. Right? Crypto is that frontier, right? It's that fight for gold, right? Digging for gold during the gold rush. That is what crypto is to me since 2017, and I am willing to lose every single dime, risking it all to make sure that crypto takes me to that future that I think it is. Because I just don't foresee any other asset taking me there as quickly as I am hoping for.
Okay. So you're saying that you're all in. You're saying that,
I'm all
hey,
in.
if this doesn't happen and I lose everything, hey, I gave it my all and I was
Yep.
there to absolutely ride the wave in and make this happen. And if it for whatever reason, which by the way, I'm with you, it's going to happen, but it's happening. It's not even going to happen. It's
Yeah.
happening, right?
Yes.
And so yeah, if for some reason something did happen or didn't happen and it screwed that up, I'm with
Yeah.
you.
So
Look what Angela put on there. She said, attach your courses to them. Miguel, we literally had that. Angela, Miguel and I had this exact conversation. I don't want to get too deep into it, but we had this exact conversation that possibly part of the curriculum that's going to be pushed out. Maybe we'll attach some NFTs to them, and it'll be a little something that says, "Oh, I have this NFT, which means I did this and I get this," and just something different. The thing that we've run into, Angela, so it's a good idea, or that we're kind of thinking through out loud, and I'll throw this out on the stream. If you are a beginner in crypto, right? You now I'm offering to start doing classes that are beginner friendly. Now, in the same breath, I'm going to start that beginner friendly class with saying, hey, I need you to have a MetaMask wallet, attach it to OpenSea.io, make that purchase. So I'm asking you to do a whole bunch of not so beginner things right off the rip. So I think that's where we kind of was like, or where we were kind of like, maybe we need to rethink this a little bit. So I don't know, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, it's definitely an idea, right? Attaching our courses to them. Um, but I wanted to what we were just saying before this was so like story time, right? I did the worst possible thing when I first got into crypto was I took out a loan, a big
Oh,
loan.
did you? I didn't know
Yes,
this.
yeah. So story time, right? So here we
Okay.
go. Story
Yeah.
time. Story time. Origins of blockchain crusader getting into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, right? So my origin story is I wanted to get into Bitcoin mining. I thought that was the thing where I was like, man, you can make tons of money with Bitcoin mining if I get some ASIC miners. So I took out a $16,000 loan. Right? I had a job. I could pay it off. No big deal. Right? Didn't over leverage myself or anything. But I took out $16,000 loan. I was like, I'm gonna buy these miners, and then I was like, oh wait a minute, they make a ton of noise. They produce a bunch of heat. I live in a studio apartment in college. I have nowhere to put these things. So
This is after you already took out the loan.
yes, this was after I took out the loan. Right, this is how half baked this idea was. Um, so I'm like, I'm all in, right? But I already got the loan, and I was like, I spoke with my dad on the phone. I told him, hey, what about if I send the miners to the house back there? You know, we build a little shed for them, and I'll just VPN in, right? I'll just use the VPN and cross into the network at the house, and check them out and see that everything's going fine electronically, right? Like IP addresses. But I was like, wait a minute, if something were to go wrong and these things go down, my parents know nothing about a computer. Don't even know how to turn it on. So I was like, that's not going to work. So I said, okay, time to pivot. I'm just going to use the loan and buy Bitcoin, buy crypto. So I did. I started, dollar cost average is $16,000 plus more, right? After that money was gone, I kept putting more money in. I didn't finish paying that loan off till 2020. That was just last year. Um, it was probably the worst thing I could have done. But in my mind, right, it's the same mentality I have now. I am willing to lose every single dime I have to make this the opportunity. This is the hill that I die on, right? This is the opportunity that I won't give up. Tons of opportunities have passed me by that could have made me tons of money, and I didn't execute. So I'm willing to take out more loans, right? When the next bear market happens, to buy more. And I like the whole Robert Kiyosaki mindset where he's like, use debt, right? Borrow money instead of using your own money to invest. Use other people's money, and other people's money is the bank's money, right? You just pull out loans and you start buying up as much as you can, right? Michael Saylor has talked about it too. If you can borrow money at 5, 6%, 4%, and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are moving up 10% annually, you're making money. You're paying off the difference. You're keeping the difference and paying the interest with the same money that is making the same asset that's making you money. So I'm approaching that mindset with that same goal is just borrow money and buy real appreciating assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, right, and other uh, crypto assets that will definitely appreciate in value. And if it goes wrong and it blows up in my face, that's fine. But this is the hill that I've chosen to die
This is
on.
the hill. Yeah, that's what I always, my wife will randomly ask, is this the hill you're ready to die on? Like, and you got to decide, like, okay, do I need to backpedal here, or are we, or is this where we're headed? Listen, so okay, the problem I have with Robert Kiyosaki telling you that is that at the point that he's saying that, he is already the rich dad at that point.
Yes.
So he's able to tell you that mathematically 10% versus 5% means 5% profit. Yes, it does. This is also the same man that if 10% doesn't happen, the loan still gets paid off. So, guys, this what Miguel's saying is not in any way financial
No,
advice,
it's not. It's
and
just
it's really
my
not. It's all right. At the point that so for I guess what I would agree with is that if 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 I have a way that I know on the front end, like, all right, so I'm a hustler. So no matter what, it wouldn't even matter. If I took a freaking loan for something, it's going to get paid off. Okay. No matter what I had to do, my family comes first and then the loan would get paid off and whatever. Um, and so I just know that about myself. But if I have a way to actually pay this off and I believe in it that strongly, then yes, I absolutely don't disagree with you. Leveraging debt to your, to your benefit is a freaking fantastic idea. The where it goes tragically wrong is when the market doesn't go your way and you don't have a way to make ends meet, and you know what I mean? You're stuck holding the
But what,
bag.
it doesn't matter, right?
You're stuck
So
holding the bag, the debt, and I mean,
hold on. But this is the thing. I took out that $16,000 loan, right? Let's say I didn't have a way of paying it back. I lost my job, right? Bitcoin was down. I was losing money, right, in Bitcoin. Yeah, my credit score is gonna get hurt, right? But they're not taking my Bitcoin. I still got that bad boy, right? So 3 years down the line, when Bitcoin comes back up and pumping, I'm back, baby. I'm back, and I'm
oh my
stronger than ever, right?
god, we
So
are gonna get
they
kicked
can't.
off of YouTube for this one.
It's not financial advice. I don't recommend it to anyone. It's just my way of thinking about things. It's not. It's it's risk that I'm willing to take, right?
Yeah,
Like a lot of people talk about, investing is about risk management, and I am willing to manage that high risk for a high return.
XZ says, "How much is a good personal loan if you're starting out?" Here's kind of my thoughts on that. I don't
let's
think I can answer that for you.
let's
First
not
of
go
all,
down that rabbit hole.
right? So I don't want to answer that question, but what I do want to say is answer your question with a question, and my answer with a question is, what's your goal and how are you going to get there? Because if your goal is something, some Jacob said bankruptcy, hey, bankruptcy is only an embarrassment, you get to keep all your stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think the question then becomes, what is your goal and how are you going to get there? So you can be like Angela's saying, you can be cash poor but crypto comfortable, which is a great feeling, right? But at the end of the day, we unfortunately are not yet to the point where crypto comfortable is the quote norm and you can navigate society without cash. Now, do I think that we're headed there? Yeah. Do I know people that actually are living in that world where they just don't have bank accounts? Actually, I do know a couple, right? And I personally, myself, am not there yet. My business, for business purposes, I couldn't do that anyway. For my family, I mean, I love crypto and I believe in it wholeheartedly, and I am way deep into the weeds with it, right? But at the same time, my this market doesn't give a crap about, doesn't care about where you sleep at night and how much your mortgage is. You know what I mean? So we have to just keep that in mind when we are investing and just be responsible. So
Hey, bro, eating ramen noodles and living in a shack right now, but in 10 years, when you're crypto rich, you're solid, bro. You're
hey,
solid.
I'm with it, and I hope everyone on, I hope every single person on the stream absolutely gets to experience financial freedom, because that's the whole reason that we're in crypto. I can speak
Yeah,
for you on that. Like, I
yeah.
know you are in this for financial freedom. I'm in this for financial freedom. People say that money can't buy you happiness. They're not wrong.
Yeah,
However, for me, happiness is more time spent doing things that I want to do, more time
yes.
with my friends and family, more time with my church friends, more time laying on the beach, more time, more time, more time, more time. Well, guess what? If I didn't have any need to spend time doing other things, which ultimately I'm spending time to pay a mortgage and car payments. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? If I didn't have that for a business and all that, if I didn't have that, what would I be doing? I would be traveling with my wife and my daughter, and I'd be coming down to Miami to come see you, Miguel, see what's up down in the MIA, and yeah, I would spend time differently, and I think time for me is where it's at.
Yeah,
So
I just feel like, the longer you spend more time in the markets, especially in crypto, the less riskier it feels for me, right?
yeah,
For me personally, like
yeah,
I said, most of the things I've said on here today, I've never really said before, because people like to take that stuff and run with it, and I don't like when people do that. But It's just my personal opinion or my personal origin story or my personal goal, right? My personal amount of risk that I'm willing to take on. And the longer I've spent time here, the more I've seen, right? Like I'm looking at an article right now that I actually want to share my screen for. Yeah, I'll get to that in just a second. So, so over here, all right, we got Morgan Stanley owns 1 million shares in Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, right? This right here is telling me the future is being written right in front of us, right? The
No doubt.
future is here. There's the risk of me personally putting every dime I've got into this as an investment instead of in real estate, instead of stock market, instead of whatever other, gold, silver, whatever. This is it. This is the thing that's going to create the biggest transfer of wealth in our entire generation, right? Like, like I told you earlier today, I finally was able to sell my jet skis. Finally, all right. So that means I got a good amount of money back in my hands that I'm gonna dollar cost average, and I'm gonna be buying up some assets, right? Maybe not every single penny, right? But a good majority of it, because I just understand that in the long term, it's gonna make me so much money. So it's short term pain, long term gains.
Yeah, I'm with it, dude. I listen. When I first got into crypto, it was freaking scary. I would be lying to you if I said any different. So in the stock market, you have a bad day and something drops, 7%, and it's like, holy crap, what's going on, right? Like, things are getting crazy, right? I literally a bad day in crypto was May 18th or May 19th morning. I don't remember which
Yeah,
two
yeah.
of those. And literally going to bed and waking up with a six-figure change in your portfolio overnight. And listen, guys, I don't care how long of an outlook you have on your portfolio. I believe that most people in crypto, especially once they get heavily invested, they freaking look at their portfolio at least daily. And mine, I should probably work on that, right? The addict in me, randomly, because it's on my main screen. You know what I mean? I can look at just open my phone and it's just there. And I got to tell you, the only reason that I didn't actually throw up was because of my utter faith and belief in the fact that, you know what? It's time to buy more. And, and,
Dude,
and, and
one hundred percent.
what'd you say?
100%. Like
And
that was my opinion.
that was where I really knew a couple months ago, in all the time that I've been in this, that was where my conviction got checked. And I looked across the way at my wife, and I remember story time, went to small group, right? And so I don't hide anything from my wife, right? She doesn't ask me where the crypto portfolios are. She doesn't ask me what's on the hardware wallet. So she doesn't ask any of that, right? She just says that, as long as things are, she trusts me, is what she's saying. So we're at small group, and this is literally the day after that had happened. And I hadn't told her. I didn't say, "Hey, babe, good morning. You want to have a cup of coffee and talk about the six-figure change in the portfolio last night?" Like, no, right? Because I knew in the long run, like this will be right back to where it was, and it is what it is. But went to small group, and I forget. It doesn't matter who it was. You guys don't know who it is anyway. But somebody says, my wife's standing right next to me, and he goes, "Rough night, huh?" And just very stoic, right? And he looks at me and he said, "I mean, dude, I, I got absolutely slaughtered. So I know you did." And my wife's standing next to me, and I can just feel it. She just kind of starts to look at me with this little, talk about some laser eyes, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't really say anything. And when we leave, right? So I'm looking at him and I'm like, dude, did you have to, right? It's my Christian small group, right? And I'm ready to drop an elbow on him right there in the family room. And we get into the car, and I'll never forget it. And it made me feel really good about my relationship with my wife. My wife looks at me and she says, "So, rough night, huh? And she basically repeats what he said, right? And I kind of laugh and I said, there's no point in me and she kind of cut me off and was like, I'm not asking you to tell me. I trust you. And man, I can't tell you like the amount of just weight that immediately took off. And it was like, you know what? I trust me too. And I do know that even if it went south at that point and continued to go south, right? And we weren't back to where we are right now, even if that happened, I do know that this is a revolution. I do know that this is absolutely moving towards 1,000,000% financial freedom. So I'm a believer.
Yeah, dude, 100% right. My parents bought Bitcoin days before that drop happened. It was
Your
that my
your parents
parents,
actually bought. Oh, you got them
my
into
parents.
Bitcoin near the
So,
top.
so I got them. Listen, this is the story time, right? So
This is
we
what we
got
should have called the stream tonight. Story time.
story time. So the origin story of my parents, right? I've been telling my parents about Bitcoin since 2017, since I got in. But since 2017, I've been doing nothing but losing money, right? Going down and down and down. And my dad was like, me buying Bitcoin, you crazy. You ain't even making a penny, right? Pandemic comes along, everything goes even lower, right? They tell my dad, hey, you can pull out your 401k right now with no penalties. It was about 40 grand or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I told him, hey, buddy, this is the moment. Just get half. I'm just saying half. Just half of that. Put it into Bitcoin. Nothing else.
So he
Just
could have bought
put it.
about 7 Bitcoin if he bought the bottom.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I told him buy just half the money. Buy Bitcoin. Maybe a little bit of Ethereum, but if anything, just buy Bitcoin, dude. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry what Ethereum is. And the rest you can put into real estate. He wanted to buy a house and all this stuff and wanted to become an entrepreneur on real estate at this moment. Didn't listen to me. He looked at me and he goes, how much money are you making on that Bitcoin again? And I'm like, well, actually, I'm losing. I'm losing a lot, right? I've been dollar cost averaging the whole way down. So he's like, exactly, buddy. Get out of here. Doesn't buy it. The year goes by. We're in 2021 now. Bitcoin is at 40 something thousand.
He's
Ethereum is
number
at,
crunching in his head. What if
right?
I would have listened to my son?
Every once in a while, I would just drop in, right? And I'd be like, hey, Dad, you seen Ethereum's price lately? And he's like, I don't know how to check that stuff, right? So I just dropped it at 1,200, buddy. I bought it at 100. That's $1,000 per Ethereum I just bought, my friend. And he's like, just kept shrugging it. Started hitting 1,200, 1,500, and he's like, all right, let's sit down. How much money you got? Right? How much money you got in there? And I was like, I invested this much in estimate, right? I couldn't remember how much it was, and I have a portfolio this big right now. And he's
Right.
like, I want to retire, and I need to get into this stuff because this stuff is the future. I was like, really? You're telling me that now, huh? So he gets in, right? He starts dollar cost averaging Ethereum at around. It has a retracement. He got his first Ethereum about $1,200.
That's still not a bad entry point at
Not
all.
bad at all, right? Making some real decent money off of it, right? Has more than doubled his investments that he's put in just at the beginning of this year. So it's only been. It wasn't even at the beginning of this year. It was like
Right.
February,
Yeah.
March, around there. So it's been less than 6 months since he's been in. He's already more than doubled or tripled his money. And then he's like, all right, man, I see Bitcoin keeps going up. I want some of that Bitcoin, right? Because, that's going to be my gold standard long term. It's going to have the least amount of retracement, yada, yada, whatever. He buys some Bitcoin after it retraced from 65 down to low 50s. And I was like, well, we're having a retracement right now. Would be a good opportunity if you want to buy Bitcoin. Right? I told him, but remember, we are at all-time highs here. This is crazy. It can go down. Right? We don't expect it to go down. We're in the bull run. It's supposed to hit 200,000 by the end of the year, but there's that risk, right? And he's like, I'm not worried about that. I know it's gonna go up. Buys it. Literally a week later, at most,
Oh,
all the way down to the 30s,
oh,
right? Ethereum.
and he's cussing you the whole way down.
Oh yeah, he's all I knew it. I should have bought this trash. Yada yada, right? But he was still making money on Ethereum. Ethereum never
Right.
dropped so much where he lost money. So I was
Right.
like, look, bro, count your blessings, right? You got in early enough in Ethereum, you're still making money. It's outweighing, it's balancing out the loss that the
Right.
unrealized loss you're taking on Bitcoin. So don't stress it, right? And then he started getting all frustrated about the price and this and that. I told him, look, buddy, I've spent 4 years of my life doing nothing but losing. You've been in here for 3 months and I've been losing for 2 days. Relax, okay? Relax. And now things have come back up, and he's like, "You're right, man. You're right. It just takes time. Sometimes you just got to put that stuff to the side and just let it ride, and it will come back up because it has fundamentals behind it."
Yeah.
And he's realized that's just the way it is. It's short-term pain, long-term gains.
Yeah. Um, and so let's end on this. We're coming up on an hour. I wanted to
Yeah.
just say so. Just kind of piggybacking on that. That is this. That is the that's the thesis, right? The thesis is, hey, you need to be able to be patient. And patience, as you've heard since a little child, is a virtue. Well,
Yes.
I can tell you this, in the crypto markets, it is more than a virtue, it is a necessity, right? And on top of the fact that it's a necessity, you need to know you can also be patient in a bad way too and just absolutely ride things out where it's just you don't have any business doing it. And that's why we are always preaching game plan. I have a game plan for what's coming up. I have a game plan for the end of this year. I have a game plan for how much I am keeping on these hardware wallets versus how much I am taking profits on. Game plan, game plan, game plan, game plan. And that game plan is all wrapped around my financial situation, right?
Yes.
And everyone's financial situation is different. And so I guess I just want to reiterate Miguel and I aren't sitting here giving you guys financial advice. We could tell you how fantastic Bitcoin is, how fantastic Ethereum is, how XRP is going to win this lawsuit, and how literally, you might as well buy another 10 grand worth of Cardano because it's going to be, tripling in price in the next, 3 weeks by September 12th. Anyway, whatever. And then we could be absolutely wrong about every single piece of that. No one knows what this market is actually going to do. We have a lot of fundamental understanding running in the background for, hey, this looks damn good, right?
Yep.
This makes sense, but be prepared because it does get ugly and get ugly quick. But the beautiful thing is at the point that you truly buy in, and when I say buy in, I'm saying the point where you feel that excitement about seeing prices drop, that right there is where you say, okay, I'm in. And so I hope that you guys figure out that point, figure out that game plan, figure out where you can be excited about a red day on the market so that you can say,
Yes.
oh, another buying opportunity, but then be smart on the green days and understand, hey, here's my game plan. I've hit my goal. Now let's take some freaking profit. And that's probably the hardest part about it. So game
Yeah.
plan, guys, for
Those
sure.
red days keep me up, not because I'm losing, but because I'm not buying enough.
No doubt. No doubt. And that's a complete, just absolute shift
Yeah.
that will happen as you are in the markets longer and longer. You don't when I pick up my phone and I see a red day, depending on where we are in the over macro landscape, I'm like, oh heck yeah. Can I do oh yeah, I can. Okay, cool. What am I getting into right now? And
Yeah,
so
man.
that is a fundamental change as opposed to seeing a red day, your stomach hurts and you're wondering how much money am I gonna in unrealized world gonna lose. Yeah.
Yeah. Last thing I'm gonna say is just on the last big retracement that we had, Polkadot came down to $10 and like 30 cents. And it instantly bounced back down to like 24, $25. What is it at right now?
Yeah.
It's at $26 right now.
2.6x.
I regret not buying when we had that retracement. I
No
couldn't because
doubt.
I didn't have cash, but that's a different story.
Let's close on what Angela said. Guys, red candles are nothing more than clearance tags. And you know what, Angela? I might actually be stealing that from you. Red candles are nothing more than clearance tags, my friends. Thank you for jumping on to Debate Crypto, guys. We love you. We hope you guys have a great night. Be safe, and we will see you mañana. That's
Hasta la
tomorrow.
vista.